Hello, Sian Roach.
Hello, Sarah. Hi. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yes, I'm doing very well.
Marvellous. Well, I have to tell you that I am very intrigued to talk to somebody who calls themselves a laughter coach and who does laughter yoga. Now, as I'm sure you can aware, that's not even English. As I'm sure you are probably aware, I have all kinds of ideas about exactly what it is that you do. And I strongly suspect that those ideas are inaccurate. So why don't you start by telling me, I'm looking at your banner behind you, it says laughter yoga. So yes. I'm thinking downward dog. I'm thinking yoga mat.
Yeah. Common misperception, Sarah, wherever I discuss laughter yoga. So you're certainly not alone with those thoughts. So I suppose I'll start off by busting some myths around what a laughter yoga practitioner and laughter coach does. So basically, the first thing to say is I'm not a comedian, so I don't make people laugh through telling jokes and sharing humour, because humour is subjective, right? So what I find funny may cause offence, and that's not in the nature of laughter yoga. And secondly, I'm not a yoga instructor either. So there are none of the downward dog exercises or anything else that you would expect in more traditional forms of yoga. So laughter yoga basically is very much a unique concept that combines laughter with yogic breathing. So that's where the yoga sense of it comes in. We do some nice stretching exercises throughout the workshops. And we do nice deep breathing exercises because that gets the oxygen into our lungs that we need to help us to sustain our laughter. So that's where the yogic reference comes into it. The rest of it is through intentional laughter, or unconditional laughter as we refer to it. And by unconditional laughter, we literally mean that you're not relying on external factors or any external stimuli to make you laugh. So we force ourselves to laugh, if you like. We fake our laughter until the natural laughter emerges. And that's very much laughter yoga in a nutshell.
Okay, so now you've got me intrigued. Right, bearing in mind that I have a performing arts degree and a kind of a drama background a long time ago. So fake laughter. So help me understand, how does fake laughter become real laughter?
Okay, so sometimes you just don't feel like laughing, yes? But we do spend a lot of our time looking for something to give us that buzz, to give us that stimuli that it's going to bring out our laughter. Well, we don't need to do that because, you've just said about your arts background, you know yourself that you can put yourself in a certain mindset and in a certain position where you want to be somebody else, you want to feel something else. Mm-hmm. And laughter is no different. So we've all got laughter within us. The key is that for us to be able to use it whenever we want to lift our mood, to lift our spirits, to give us a little bit of emotional release. Laughter is a great form of emotional release. Oh, yeah. Every time we feel a bit tense and all these things getting on top of us, rather than shouting and screaming and maybe arguing those words out, we can let it come out through laughter. So to go back to your original point is how do we fake our laughter? Well, we could do it right here now. Why not do a practical demonstration, Sarah? Are you up for it?
Go on, then.
So first of all, we're just going to do a breathing exercise, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose and we'll breathe out through our mouth. The second breath that we do, we'll breathe in through our nose, but this time we'll make that out breath audible and we'll just make ourselves laugh, okay? So breath in, laughter sound out on the second breath.
Okay.
So deep breath in. Okay, second breath.
That works.
And it's as simple as that. So just to prove that we can laugh. Now, in order for that laughter to become more sustained laughter, and that's where we get the real good health benefits of it, we need to laugh for about 10, 15 minutes. And we do deep, hearty laughter. So we breathe right down from our bellies to get the best health benefits. And we do that within laughter yoga and laughter coaching by doing some physical exercises that brings out the laughter. So it's very playful laughter yoga, and it's all about creating that inner joy within us. So we're not constantly searching for happiness, because it gives us that sense of joy within us that we can tap into at any time.
That's amazing. That's a ridiculously easy to laugh. I mean, that was ridiculously easy to laugh, actually.
And it becomes more contagious when you do it as part of a group.
Absolutely.
And even online, it's, yes, it can be very contagious.
And I have to say, that you got me thinking now, there is nothing better than that feeling when you have laughed at something till you cry. That's just the best feeling in the world, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Yes.
And all happens on the out breath.
It does. Yes. Yeah. And laughter will very often turn into silent laughter as well. You don't, just because we might not be making the loud noises, doesn't mean that we're not getting those great health benefits. Silent laughter, often when you literally can't breathe for laughing so much, the sound doesn't come out, but we are still getting the great wellness benefits.
And what are those wellness benefits?
So many, so many. But I guess in its most basic form, laughter lifts our mood within a matter of minutes through the release of endorphins, which can then last in our body all day. And endorphins are natural painkillers, so they help to ease some of any pains or muscle ache that we may be feeling. Laughter is great for relaxing our muscles and boosting our circulation, and it also boosts our immune system. It's a great laughter kind of counteracts depression systems, relieves stress. It's great.
Anxiety. I can just imagine that the people that I know that do suffer from anxiety are always much better after they've laughed.
Exactly. Yes. It gives us good sleep. It helps us become more creative, because laughter boosts the creative part of the brain, the right side of the brain, which just helps us to gain a different perspective in terms of our creativity. We become more resourceful. And that's all to do with the science of laughter and how, when we laugh, we create new neural pathways in our brains. So yes.
That's massive.
So many benefits.
Okay, so there's the physical, let's laugh, let's make ourselves laugh and get all the benefits from that. So where does the laughter coaching come in?
So laughter coaching is then for those who maybe want to go a little bit deeper with this. So they want to learn to laugh more easily, just laugh with ease, potentially on their own, learning more on their own. Because the laughter program that I offer, whilst I have run it for organisations in group sessions, the majority of the work that I do with laughter coaching is on a one-to-one basis. And that allows for people who maybe want to boost their self-esteem and want to just have more zest for life in terms of the confidence to be in social situations where we don't have to fill every moment of silence, because we know that we are comfortable with being who we are and what we are. And when we do say the wrong things, we laugh about them because laughter comes easy to us.
That's nice. When I had small children, my children are now much bigger. They're 20, 24 and 19 now, or they will be shortly. I wasn't very good at having small children. I find small children very challenging, and there are 5 years between my two. So I kind of had 10 years of having one that was under 5.
Yeah.
And things that kind of, that little kids do, I used to find myself going, driving me mad. And one of my friends laughed. Every time something went wrong, she laughed. Something would get knocked over a clean white tablecloth, she'd laugh. One of the kids would just be all dressed up, ready to go somewhere, and they'd fall over in a puddle, and she'd laugh. The handles on her shopping basket snapped. and she laughed as her shopping went all over the floor and the bottle of wine smashed away. And I remember thinking back then, this is a long time before I realized just how you can choose your own responses.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, God, I wish I could do that. I wish I could instantly see the funny side instead of getting stressed about it first and eventually seeing the funny side. And that's what you're talking about, isn't it? You're talking about being able to develop the skill of choosing your own response.
Very much, yes. You know, all those events that you just listed there brings about an emotion within us, and we can choose that emotion. And it's just such a shame. And, you know, I'm not saying that I always choose the right emotion. You know, I've got 3 small children, and I blog about my life of juggling work, life, kids, and ambition. Because it's not easy. It's you know, and every day brings a different challenge in one of those elements of life, kids, and ambition. But it is such a shame that we don't tap into that natural resource that we have that brings about so many of the wellness benefits, as opposed to choosing the other reactions, such as stress, anger. You know, once we've said something in those moments of in those stressful situations, those words are out there. We can never take them back. No matter how much we apologize, those words are always out there. And I suppose what laughter yoga does, and the principles of laughter yoga, and in terms of laughter coaching, it teaches us to react differently, to become closer, to reconnect with our own laughter, so that it is higher up that response unit within us. So hopefully we are able to respond just like your friend has done.
Yeah.
You know, what is the alternative? You drop your groceries, your bottle of wine smashes. You know, it's not going to bring it back by crying, by being angry. So we may as well laugh through it and, you know, give ourselves a bit of a wellness boost at the same time.
And it strikes me that even if you do have a negative reaction to something, if you have the skill of being able to take yourself away, go and spend 5 minutes in the bathroom and make yourself laugh, you can get rid of that frustration. Is that how it works?
Yeah. You know, and that's not to say that laughter is the only emotion that people should play with, because it's by no means not. I mean, given the situation that the world is in at the minute, you know, I have had moments where I have tried to make myself laugh, but I can't, because my blockage is there. And you know what? The tears needed to come out. The tears needed to be released. And you have a good old cry about it. And that opened up the gateway for laughter to come through. And, you know, I guess I've learned a lot about how laughter can help me just in this situation that we're in. And I don't think that you're ever the ultimate expert in any of this, because it's life, and these are genuine emotions that we are feeling. So yeah, you've got to use the emotion that's right for you. But what I do is to try and open up people's eyes to the fact that we do have another option, which is laughter, that can help us in times of adversity.
So you must have a program that you run. Tell me about how people work with you. How does that work?
Yeah. So I've got, in terms of laughter yoga, I work with individuals on a one-to-one basis. Obviously, everything is being done online now. It's probably going to be a little while longer before laughter yoga goes face-to-face. But yeah, all the online stuff that I do. So I work with large organizations. I work with charities, support groups. You know, I've done away days. I work at festivals. I run laughter yoga parties for any age. And I worked a lot as well in care homes, with residential care homes and daycare centres, doing laughter yoga for seniors. And that's probably one of the most rewarding parts of the work that I do, especially working with people who may suffer with dementia or live with dementia. It's just absolutely fascinating that at the beginning of a session, a client might not be able to remember their own name. And of course, we have a laugh about that if that's what the client wants to do. But then at the end of the session, through the release, and there's no pressure when you laugh, you know, when nobody is forcing you to remember anything. When you're laughing, you know, everything seems a little bit lighter and freer. It's very much freestyle when we're laughing. And through laughter exercises that we do, at the end of sessions, I'm getting clients who, you know, as I say, couldn't remember their name at the beginning, telling me about the bikes that they used to ride when they were children and where they used to go and how they shared their bikes with their siblings and, you know, all these different stories coming through. And that's because, you know, we've been able to just free ourselves of concern and worry and any pressures that we might feel that in order to conform. And, you know, that's all gone out of the window, and we've played. We've been allowed to be playful, to be joyful. And yes, we go down memory lane again. So that's one part of my business I'm really missing at the minute.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yes. Yeah, because we're not kind of getting the same reaction online when I'm working with seniors.
No.
But, you know, but hopefully that will come back in time. Yeah. But then the other part of my business is the coaching program. So the coaching program is an 8-week program, and each week we look at a different theme, if you like. It's a structured method that we approach each week. And a weekly session consists of a personal meeting, again done online at the minute. We have 3 weekly telephone laughter calls. So when we do a telephone laughter call, we just do unconditional laughter for 10 minutes, solid. So there's no chit chat. There's not even any niceties. It's, you know, hello everybody here, let's start, and we laugh for 10 minutes on a real phone. We don't use this, and that's all we do. And you know, our laughter is spurred on by the other people's laughter on the call as well. And we practice with different laughter sounds, with the different breathing that we do to help sustain our laughter. And then there's home-based tasks that I set as well. So, you know, it's laughter yoga in order for anybody to become more confident and comfortable with their laughter. It takes practice. So yes, each week there's a set of homework, if you like, that's set for everybody to practice being more playful.
That's fantastic. And so this is running groups and one-to-one, or just one-to-one, or how do you work it?
Groups, one-to-one. It can be very flexible. The laughter yoga workshops are in groups as a rule, because we do exercises to stimulate and simulate our laughter, and that works really, really well when it's in a group setting. And just the sound of other people's laughter is really contagious. So yeah, that helps with other people who may be a bit more shy in the group situation. That really helps to not get the spotlight shining too much on them, because the sound coming through Zoom at the minute when we're 10, 12 people are laughing together is quite incredible.
So I've done this interview the other way around to how I'd normally do it, because I'd normally start off by saying, you know, Sian, tell me about you, tell me about your background. But I was so interested in this idea of laughter yoga and laughter coaching. So now you've told me all that, I'm thinking, well, how on earth did you get into this? How did you land upon laughter yoga? Of all the things in the world, how did you end up here?
Well, you know what? I'd love to say I've got like a really wow backstory here, and I don't. The story goes, me and my partner were due to go on a secondment to London a few years back, and I bought a book, 1001 Things to Do in London, and I was determined while I was there for 3 months to do as many of these things as I possibly could. And one of the things was laughter yoga. So I went along to a workshop, thought it was the most, oh, sorry, that's my dishwasher draining in the background.
The dog shuffling around the floor around me, if you can hear that. It sounds like a pig. Go on. Then.
I went to the workshop. I thought it was the most bizarre thing I had ever experienced in my life. But loved it and couldn't stop laughing about it when I came from there. And you know, that is a natural reaction to laughter yoga. I'm very lucky. I get great feedback through laughter yoga because it makes people feel good. But actually, I also get some very open and genuine feedbacks, which says, you know, this is a little bit out there. You know, what is this about? And that's natural as well, because as adults, we are not used to being that playful.
No.
So it really is tapping into something that maybe in adult life we've not played with very much. Yeah, so that was many years ago that I experienced it in London. I carried on with my life when I returned back to Wales, became a qualified coach, and then just felt that I wanted something more to offer in terms of my coaching business. And I also noticed that I couldn't help but interject humour or playfulness in my coaching, because I do find that seriousness is equally as contagious as laughter. Yeah, when we get into that stage where everything is so serious, and we're putting in the same amount of work, so why not have some fun with it? So just because we're going for our goals, we've got aspiration, we got potential to develop, doesn't mean that we have to be deadly serious the whole time about it. We can use playfulness to help us, because we know it helps us to be more creative. It helps us with new idea generations. It helps build social bonds. So even in a very serious world, such as executive coaching and life coaching, there is still room there to allow for playfulness, for laughter, because it brings us joy, essentially. And that's what we are going for. I don't support many clients who go for a goal where to have joy from that goal isn't an option.
Well, yeah, it's the whole point, isn't it? It's the whole
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
It's so interesting that you say that, because one of the things about the coaches that we work with, so we work with people who have taken their coaching qualification, then kind of gone, I'm not quite sure how to build my coaching business. And one of the things that some of the more serious individuals are kind of a little bit taken aback about is, I always say, if this isn't fun, you shouldn't be doing it. The whole, if you're going to work for yourself, it's got to be fun, hasn't it? You've got to absolutely love doing it, and it shouldn't be a chore. And if it is a chore, you need to have a think about how you're approaching it, because it should be fun.
Yes, Sarah.
And you've taken the next step and said, so let's laugh about it. Let's not just make it fun. Let's actually laugh about it.
Well, so whilst I did laughter yoga all those years back, I went to one session. I carried on with my professional life in management and leadership. And I only wish that when I was in that realm, at that stage of my life, that I was more playful. And I'm sure I would have been a much better person for it. I'm sure I would have got much more success if I didn't take things so seriously. If perfectionism wasn't I thought it was my friend. I believed for so many years that, being a perfectionist was my greatest quality and strength. And exactly, absolutely not.
No.
But I've kind of got that with hindsight.
Yeah.
Laughter yoga is brilliant for we can still be professional, but we can be a realist around it. We've got, as you said, you've got to enjoy life. You've got to enjoy this journey. And even when I was studying for my coaching qualification, I remember writing my one of my assignments, and it was quite controversial, because coaching, when we looked at skills and qualities of coaches, and humour within a professional coach was kind of frowned upon. From a big survey that somebody had done, it said, humour was rated as a low-ranking quality within a coach.
Yeah,
exactly. And I was quite controversial there, because I do find that when you can make that bond with somebody, in order to build a great coaching relationship, I think it's got to start with the coach, in terms of being our this is what I write about, our messy, imperfect, authentic self. And when we can be that person, it creates a space where others can feel safe about themselves too. So when we are starting on that coaching relationship, we are starting with the true product. It's not that a client has to come in and impress us, and we have to, yes, you've got to become comfortable with somebody and you build that trust. But actually, I'd like people to see me for who I am. Yes, this is what I can support you with and encourage you and challenge you to work towards. But actually, let's be realistic here. There are going to be bumps in that road. And how are we going to deal with those bumps? How are we going to react?
Are we going to cry, or are we going to sit back and laugh and go, okay, that way didn't work, let's try another way?
Exactly. Yeah.
We sing off the same hymn sheet, Sian.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of my time talking to our community about how this doesn't have to be this serious and this, you know, po-faced. This can be lighthearted and well, fun. If it's not fun, why are we doing it? Why, you might as well go and work for somebody else. You don't want to be miserable working for yourself. You go be miserable working for somebody else. It's a lot easier. You know, it might not give you the same sense of fulfillment, but it is a lot easier. And, you know, working for yourself can be really hard. Like, you know, you need to be able to do it with a smile or a laugh.
Or a laugh. Yes.
Absolutely. That's just hugely interesting.
Thank you.
Oh, Catherine McNeil. So Catherine McNeil is one of the Coaching Revolution's little stars. She's our she's our workshop development queen. She says, so good. A key foundation of the coaching relationship has to be how the coach views themselves and being comfortable with all aspects of themselves, including the messy and imperfect, especially the messy and imperfect. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. It's
especially when you put children into the mix.
There you go. Yeah.
Children teach you that you can't control everything and that perfection doesn't exist.
and people will say, oh, but surely you don't struggle with that, Sarah. Or, oh, you know, you're so confident. Or you're like, come on, you know, I'm just an ordinary person. As my granny would say, who was from South Wales, you know, I put my knickers on one leg at a time, just like the rest of you. We all do the same thing, you know, and you have a choice. It doesn't always feel like you have a choice, but it sounds to me like what you're talking about is giving people a really cool tool to enable them to make that choice about how to respond. And even if they can't do it in the moment, it's a tool that they can then take away and use to get rid of the bad feelings and bring themselves back up to a cheerful level.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely spot on. That's
brilliant. That's so cool. How do I not know about this? How have I never heard of laughter yoga?
And that's the thing, because it's not a new concept. It's relatively new in the UK, but it's been around since 1995. You know, and laughter is serious business all around the world. But yes, I think we're in the UK. I think we're a little bit reserved about some of these new concepts. And you know, laughter yoga is never going to be for everybody. I've worked with clients, and you know, we think we're going to start off on a good coaching relationship, and we quickly find out that actually no, we are not compatible. You know, and that's fine as well to accept that. And the sooner we realize that, the better for coach and client. But some people will always want to be in the flat seriousness. And that is absolutely fine, because they'll thrive in that space. And to be taken out of that space to be playful is uncomfortable for them. But sometimes we do need to come out of our comfort zone in order to expand and reach our goals and fulfill our potential.
Yeah, you can't grow if you stay where you're comfortable, can you?
That's right. That's right.
Well, you know, I said this was going to be a really quick 30 minutes.
Oh, it's time up already.
No, how is that even possible?
That was quick.
Sean, that was absolutely delightful. That's just the most delightful interview. Thank you so much for your time. And now I'm going to go away and practice making myself laugh by breathing like that. That was really interesting. I just used to do lots of the kind of breathing stuff and voice work and what have you, but I'd never thought of it in terms of that. So I shall go away and make myself laugh.
Yeah, anything that you're doing, household chores, you know, you're doing the dishes, you just add a bit of laughter.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Lovely to meet you.